do. You guys want early lunch, but you won't join a lobby. What's the deal? Do do do. No mic. I'm posted. So lonely with my duplicate that's hosting it. So I guess I'll start with the obvious news that the Attorney General has been on The Apprentice, and she was fired last night. And people are losing their fucking minds, and they're going crazy over it. And the only thing I have to say to those people is, try to defy your boss's orders and see how long you get to keep your job. I don't know why people have a hard time understanding that, especially in a position you're sworn in on or get to swear in for. If you don't want to obey your boss, you resign like everyone else who's done that. You don't wait to get your ass thrown out, much like the sheriff of Travis County in Texas is about to after tomorrow. Senate committee votes on Attorney General nominee Jeff Sessions. It's happening right now as we speak. So I assume that after he's confirmed, then the substitute AG after yesterday's firing will be out of a job again too. So it would have been a good time to nominate Ted Cruz or Trey Gowdy, but I guess Sessions was the guy from earlier, so it is what it is. President's defending his travel ban amid fierce backlash. Big surprise. You know, I've got a question for you, all of you, whoever's listening. Do you remember back in 2011, President Obama had the exact same travel ban? Same countries, he made the list. Trump's basically doing the same list. Nobody lost their shit. Nobody freaked out. Or better still, do you remember when there was the bird flu, swine flu, Ebola pandemics going around the world? What did we do? Travel ban, because we couldn't screen people who might be carriers of this deadly, fast-acting, spreading disease. So we didn't let anybody from certain countries that had a certain affliction in. Radical Islamic terrorism is an affliction. So, you know, you can justify it pretty much the same way. You can say, look, we can't screen you people, so we won't have any of you. Just like if you had bird flu or swine flu. So I don't even know why he has to defend himself. I mean, if he uses that example, that'll shut a lot of people up. They'll say, "Oh, you can't make religion the same thing as a disease." And you'd be like, "Well, how about the radical sects of religion? You know, they've lost their damn minds. So maybe it's a mental disorder." I was really hoping to maybe talk Matt into doing a whole chat about that, just the comparisons, and it would be a politics chat for like tomorrow or whatever. But I think that'd be a cool idea. It's not like libs are going to listen to it anyway, right? funny. I have been given a new task at my work, which is a task I used to do 10 years ago, which is sending off orders to people. And the funny thing is when I do these, and I tell my boss, do you know you're losing 1 cent for every order you send for this particular item? And I think he did it by design just to get the order volume he's looking for. But I thought that was a bit strange. We did that when we first, we've been selling at my shop on Amazon for almost 6 years now. So in the beginning, we did the same thing. We take like a 1 cent loss just to make 300,000 sales and get a shitload of reviews or whatever to make your selling power and searchability better. It's the same trick they do on eBay, but it's almost too late to do it on eBay nowadays. You can be like 1/10 the price what the top seller of that item is on eBay, and you won't even come up on the search until page like 99. It's retarded. So any of you out there that's getting rained on or frozen or snowed on or whatever the hell, we're having a ridiculously picturesque Texas day. 70 degrees, there's no clouds, there's almost no wind, and I'm stuck indoors instead of being at the shooting range. Hang on, I gotta get this. Another part of my job is trying to find alternative solutions for things that are no longer made. Sorry, you can't buy that $40 thing. The only thing left is the $100 thing, and you need 5 of those. I don't think they're going to go for that. Call it a hunch. So this is what it feels like to be Jimmy on the early watch in the morning. I can actually appreciate the amount of organization it takes to do your show on a daily gun show with G-Webs and 3 other hosts. Having a little bit of structure actually helps things flow, but otherwise you get stuck with dead air. I should post the link again for those who got here late. That's in case you guys are feeling a bit chatty. Or if you want to ask something that maybe I can answer. Fucking headset keeps getting caught on my zipper. What's with this funky noises if you can hear it? Well, in other news, I'm in a race against cataracts for my dog, my other dog. One of them is still alive. And apparently his breed is the most susceptible to diabetes, which he's had for 6 years, something like that, about 6 years. And he's finally starting to develop cataracts, which is something that usually happens when your dog gets diabetes. 3 out of 4 of them do. And supposedly it's correctable by surgery, which is the cheapest I found is $1,800. And the most I've seen it for is $3,800. So I've got a financial burden to deal with. He's already 9, but he's healthy otherwise, and he's the only dog we got left. My folks are pretty attached to him, so if I don't do anything about it soon, it'll be irreversible, and it leads to glaucoma, and it gives him chronic headaches, which I can't watch another dog degenerate like the last one I had. So that's going to be an interesting conversation with my bank. That's pretty much going to kill off all my gun purchases for the year too. Still going to do the lever action just because I want to beat Matt to it. And I know he'll love the hell out of it anyway, so I'm sure if I get one, it'll nudge him in the right direction to go ahead and get his too. Maybe I'll go down there and go shooting with him or something. I get to try my new diet starting today too. That's going to put me in a really good mood. Most of the stuff around my work is not good for you, so to be more cautious with what I buy, what I eat. I've got this ache in my shoulder that I've had since November, and it won't go away. At first I thought it was my posture. Then I thought it was the way I was sleeping, so I changed that. And then I stopped putting my left arm up on the open window of my car because it puts my shoulder at a funky angle, I guess. None of that's working. I gave up smoking a while back, so I don't think it's that. My blood pressure's good, so I don't think it's circulatory issue. Sometimes it goes away, so on and off for a couple hours. So I thought maybe it's dietary because I put on over 40 pounds in like the last year and a half. I mean, I work out and stuff, but I've got a beer storage device, so I'm trying to get rid of that. Thinking maybe all this extra weight on these, I'm growing faster than my body can cope with it or something. It's a theory. I'm working on it. Oh look, I finally have a playmate.
Yo, Sean.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, did you get my PM the other day?
Yeah, I responded just a little while ago.
Okay, sweet. I'll get that patch sent right out, man.
I appreciate it. I completely forgot, man. It's like the night of your cast, I was sitting there and I watched the whole thing, and then I just sort of drifted off to sleep right after it ended. And then I had an entire weekend where I didn't do nothing. Like, I didn't do laundry, yard work, nothing. It was already done. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll go shooting. Or there was no gun show, so I didn't know where to go. Didn't feel like going out shooting because everyone was at work. They all work retail, so my weekends are kind of boring. And my folks wanted to go, my old folks wanted to go do their shopping, so I stayed home and took care of the dog until they got back, which was late, and then I had to make dinner. So my whole weekend was nondescript, and I just forgot about everything.
I don't know. I actually prefer to probably go shooting when like no one else can go. That's just me. Like
I like
you know,
playing the
you know that
last
song,
guy.
like you know that George Thorogood song, like "I Drink Alone."
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
nobody. That's like my song for shooting.
I definitely drink alone. But
Yeah,
yeah, I like to be the last guy at the range too, because you don't get these gawkers that are shocked that you brought a 500 Magnum to the range, and then all the range officers who tell you that you can't shoot 50 on their range all of a sudden come over and they're like, "Ooh, can I shoot that?" I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. Give everyone else a go.
I like to go shooting alone just because it's like fishing sometimes, man. Like if you don't fish with the right people, fishing ain't fun,
Yeah, it's true.
and stuff like that. And and like yeah, I enjoy shooting with other people and stuff, but a lot of the time, so maybe most of the time, it's just so nice just to have that quiet and be able to take my time. And like if I want to take 10 minutes to take one shot,
You can
I
do it.
can take that 10 minutes. You know what I mean, and stuff like that, and just and I'm not having other people like bother me and ask me shit and like, oh, will you help me with this or and just I don't know. It can be really nice to shoot alone. And a lot of times I'll go out there and shoot, and like I can go out and shoot out in the desert and spend like 2 hours out there and literally not even shoot like 20 rounds in 2 hours. Like cause
Just taking it all in instead.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes I'll be sitting there just like looking out in the distance and all that, and then I'll see like a coyote or rock chucks pop up, shit like that. I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. Like like I didn't even go out there to hunt, but you know, it's just nice
Impromptu.
to yeah.
Yeah, I like going to the range by myself when I'm just trying to work on fundamentals. Because sometimes if I go too often with too many people, then it sort of turns into like a offhanded competition, and then I start making shortcuts and not shooting as good as I could be, and then I'll stop shooting for a couple of weeks and then go by myself, hoping that I forgot all the bad habits I picked up, and it usually works out pretty good. Like what I'll do is I've got this target at one of my ranges that looks like a golf course. So what you do is you try to put
Oh, you
around.
play golf
Yeah,
on the
you,
target? I
yeah,
saw that.
you
Yeah.
put a round through the tee, and then about, depending on what par each hole is. Like if it's a par 3, then you want to hit the tee about halfway across the field. There's a little mark, and then there's the pin. So you want to hit all 3 of those. And if you miss, then you have to go back and do it again until you get all 3, and then you go to the next hole. If that's a par 4, there's a tee, and then there's one at like the 30-yard line and one at like the 70-yard line, and then there's like the pin, so you shoot through the cup. I got pretty good at that. I'd take 44 Magnum wad cutters and I'd sit there and just drive holes into the golf course.
No, I haven't done the golf one yet. I've seen that target, like one of my local ranges has it and stuff, and it looks like fun. And I want to see that, like the gun channels. Like when I first joined gun channels, there was like a shoot thing every month, right? Where someone would post a target, and then everyone would print off that target and go and shoot it, and like post their results.
Oh, I'd totally do that.
And I think it became too much of like from what I've heard, I never got a chance to do it because that like pretty much ended like right when I first joined.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of became like too competitive, and maybe there was too much smack talk, or maybe everyone got bored of it. I don't know. But I heard like from what I heard is that like it got just like too competitive. Like it was supposed to be like a fun thing, and then it just turned like into like too competitive of a thing. But I would
I
like
could
to
see
see
that
that.
being too easy to cheat.
Oh yeah, yeah. So if that was brought back, where like everyone just took their cell phone or their camera
I'd do it.
and actually like showed their target, like reeled it out or went and set it up,
Yep.
like all uncut and then unedited, shot it, reeled it back in, and then was like, "This is how I did." And granted, I guess they could print off a whole bunch and then like maybe do like show their one best. I guess you could still cheat on that, but still, you got to have some sort of honor system and some sort of like code, I guess, and have some sort of trust. But like, I would totally do that. Like, I don't give a fuck if I reeled it out my first time and I shot horribly. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what I did this time. But I would like to see something brought back like that. I think that's cool as shit.
Yeah,
I'm down.
I'd be interested in that. That'd be cool.
Because see, I would just like pull out like one of my nice 22s and I would just kick all your guys' asses. So yeah, let's see you outshoot this group. Like I can put 5 shots the size of a 45 in this.
I'd just use my 44. And then you'd say, "Hey, there's only one hole in your target." I'm like, "No, there isn't." There are 5. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Like we can do, how they did like the ice bucket challenge or whatever. We can do the gun channels target challenge.
Yeah. Like fucking who doesn't have a cell phone, right? Like, I mean, yeah, that can take video or a camera or something, and you just have your kid or your buddy or something sit there and record you, setting up, like showing the target. Look, it's all blank. Set it up, reel it out, whatever, shoot it, show it, all uncut. Like it should really only take like a minute to do all that,
Yeah.
And so like.
That's my biggest thing though. When I shoot up north, I shut my phone off Friday night. I don't turn it back on until Sunday. Like that's
Oh, you
part of the
just
whole
turn that
thing.
shit to airplane mode, Smeggy. Then you can still use your camera.
Well, no, I
So
know.
that-
I shut the whole damn thing off just because it's a peace of mind,
Yeah.
Oh crap! I shouldn't have copied that one. Damn it! Copied the wrong one. Anyways.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. I mean, just
like
a simple
do
target
the-
on a regular A4 sheet of paper that anyone can print, stick it on your target, run it out to like, say, if you do handguns, run it out to maybe 10 yards just to keep it kind of usable for everybody. And if you do a rifle target, run it out to like 50 or maybe 100.
Yeah, totally. Or it can change literally every month because that's the way it used to be. Is like one month it'd be like a zombie target, and the next month it'd be like a hostage target. The next month it'd just be like that standard like NRA small bore pistol target. Or, you know, like every month it was just a different target at like a different at a different range, right? So, you know, and like, so every month it got changed up a little bit. So like one month it may be like 100-yard rifle target or something, and you're like, oh, I'm not interested in doing this one. But then the next month it's like a small bore pistol target, and you're like, oh, I'm all about that. You know, so just change it up. And
how far do you want to take that? Because I mean, like, we could tell G to make it like a Patreon, you know, monthly thing or something, maybe, and then post our videos
I mean,
or whatever.
here's
I mean,
the thing:
this could
if
be
you
big.
want to do it, just do it.
Right.
I mean, I'm down. It's just make a channel or whatever, and then post the thing on there. Like post it as a picture, and everyone can copy it right there.
See that we have made
well,
a thing.
I might do that because I shoot everything, like literally everything, long range, close range, pistol, rifle, like, you know, like everything, you know, and as long as there was a good balance and it wasn't the same thing every month, so lots of people got to participate. Because if you're only posting like a pistol target at like 10 yards every single month, there's so many guys who don't shoot for accuracy, or like they're not even into that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like you got to switch back and forth between pistol, rifle, you know, all sorts of stuff like that, and calibers, and you know, because like it's hard to, like, you can't really compete against a guy who's decent with like a 22 as far as group size goes against a guy who's shooting like a 45.
Yeah, because it's just a smaller
You know,
projectile.
yeah, exactly. So you got to have, you know, you're gonna have to have certain limits, like, you know, okay, this is like 9 millimeter and up or something, and you know, or this is a small bore, like, so as long just put like, but then change it up every month so everyone gets the chance for whatever they're into to play, and I think that would be
Yeah, well,
like that.
here's the thing, dude. If there's like, when you first started, if there's like 5 people and it's like just the 3 of us and a couple other ones doing it, then it's just a couple of friends, you know, doing it. If it grows where there's 1 million people going on there, then you start breaking it up more.
Well, I guess that's true. It would depend on how many people are participating in it.
So it just
And you
has
know,
to
and then
be
like,
vague at first.
and almost everyone has a YouTube channel, right? So they could just like post their video on their YouTube channel and keep it private.
Yep.
You know, if they want, they don't even have to share it with the world, and then they can just give the people who are involved in it, or even like maybe like the judge, whoever starts the channel, like the link to their private video or whatnot, and you know, and then you know, that's the thing, is like whoever starts that channel or whatever is going to kind of have to be like the judge, or someone's going to have to play that role, I guess.
We'll have Bob do it. Be like, you're all disqualified. You didn't use a high power, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down. I don't know if I would do video and stuff. I know you're trying to make sure people aren't cheating or whatever, but
Well, that's
I'd
just, I'm
probably
not
just take
gonna,
a picture of the thing. That's
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just like, that's what I was told. Like, why some people, I guess, didn't want to do that. Just from what I'm told, some people like didn't want to do it or stopped doing it is because they think that maybe certain people were cheating on that. Like, that's what I was told. So like, I never got a chance to participate in that or do it, but from what I was told, like some people were like, "Oh, I'm not even going to do this anymore because, like, yeah, like I think that someone else is cheating."
There's
So
ego involved, and they're just embarrassed.
yeah, you know, like, and that could be totally what it is, or you know, like who fucking knows? But so I'm saying, if it's on video, it's a lot less likely any shit's going on there.
We have an strike again.
Well, that's true. I mean, I wouldn't let Night Strike in because yeah, he'd be cheating for sure.
He'd cheat.
Right. Just like, you know,
Don't tell him I said that though.
He's like, "This is my 9mm SKS pistol." And,
no, this is my AK-9 in a ridiculously hard to find cartridge in 9x39.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell Dead Horse that I got another AK instead of another AR, because you know he'll be disappointed.
You might perk him.
So what's going on, guys?
Chilling, just working, trying to look busy.
So, what shows are going on tonight? Does anyone know?
The best show ever, hit or miss. Tuesday night.
What time are you starting that?
9 Eastern.
9 Eastern, which is 7 my time. God damn it!
Yeah.
Why do you got to go on at 9 Eastern?
Well, because Sean and Smeggy have to work. That's why.
Yeah.
Because see, I was going to do I was gonna hop in like whatever open lobby was up, like the Pink's lobby or whatever.
Yeah.
That's at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I was gonna show you guys how to pin and weld a muzzle brake live on air, like and TIG weld it.
Oh shit!
Why do that when you can just silver solder?
Don't even get me started there, dude. Don't even.
Because the ATF says silver solder, and silver solder is easier to remove in case you need to change out and put a different muzzle brake on.
But that's the whole point. Is it's easy to remove. Like, okay, have you seen any
But it's
of the
approved by the ATF, which is the funny part.
They want it to be shitty though at the ATF.
But the ATF also put a fucking like pipe wrench, a long 2-foot pipe wrench, and if they can break that silver solder bead, which I don't know if you've ever silver soldered like pipe before, like it's not like an indestructible shit. And granted, like they want you to use a silver solder with like over like an 1100 degree melting point, but still, I've used that stuff. I've brazed, and it's not hard to break those welds. It doesn't penetrate the steel at all. And the ATF literally puts on a fucking pipe wrench with a cheater bar, and if they can unscrew that, it's not considered permanently attached. So if they break that weld, and I've seen there's lots of pictures online of ATF tested muzzle brakes and how they perform that test and how they fuck up your rifle doing that test. But the point is, if they can get it off at all, it's not considered permanently attached. Like, so, that's why you pin and weld, because, and if you use a pin that's harder than the carbon steel in the barrel, that pin will twist around the barrel and strip the threads, and then that muzzle brake just sits there and spins, but it doesn't come off. So that's why it's still considered permanently attached. That's the whole point about pinning and welding. It's not because it looks cleaner or that it's more aesthetically pleasing or it makes it look like it's not pinned and welded. It's really none of that. It's the best way, because if done correctly, it's impossible to get that break off. And until you actually take a grinder, grind out that weld, drop the pin out. Like that's, I mean,
Nah, you use a Dremel, it's better.
Well, yeah, Dremel, whatever. Just even a file, whatever. Just that's the only way to take a proper. That's the only way to get a properly pinned, muzzle brake off. That's why
I
we do
know.
it.
I just had to, speak on the ridiculousness of the silver solder, just because, that's one way I learned in my gunsmithing course.
And Dead Horse, if you want to come on Hit or Miss and do that, I'd invite you. I don't know if Night Strike has other plans, but I don't have any plans for the show.
We got plans tonight.
Oh, you bastard!
Yeah, I actually went through and made a thing of stuff to talk about.
This is why you don't make plans, because then you miss out on stuff.
I know,
but how long can you talk about crayons and coloring books and cupcakes? That's like a 10-minute conversation.
Actually, one of the newer Gun Channels members is going to be on, because he's got an FFL, and I wanted to talk about FFLs and whatnot tonight. So,
can you give us a spoiler and tell us who that is, or is it like a surprise?
It's not a surprise. He's actually the only FFL in his area, because he's out in the country in Indiana. That's Native Gun. You've seen him, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen him on.
Yeah, he's an FFL. He's gonna come on Hit or Miss and talk to us about the ins and outs of FFLs. So if you've got any questions about FFLs, whatnot, tonight would be the night to go and come on and.
I have a question before I can think of questions. Does he have like a storefront or just his house?
He's not doing it out of his kitchen. He's doing it out of a garage that he's remodeled to be an actual place of business.
Because I wanted to figure out what type of questions.
All that stuff is stuff we're going to go over and talk about tonight. So I figured that would be a nice thing to do, nice change of pace instead of talking about all these depressing topics,
Yeah,
like news and
that
whatnot.
sounds good. It's like I said, I just wanted to know that because if he owned a store, I have a bunch of questions that I could think about, and if he does it from his house, I have a bunch of questions I could think about. So now I know.
Some FFLs don't even sell guns. Like some FFLs are like Cerakote guys, right? And that way they can have people send them receivers and shit.
And some guys are just transfer only guys.
Yeah. So, so there's lots of different FFL types. Not every FFL is like an actual gun store or sells.
I can give you a spoiler and say that he says he has mentioned that he does keep some stock on hand at his FFL in case somebody wants something and he wants them to sell it to them. Provided they can fill out the 4473 and it comes back clean, he can sell it to them. So he does keep some stock on hand, but he's, primarily from what I think he said, he's pretty much just a transfer guy. Which out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, that probably does help because, I've been in Indiana. It's not all, city.
I wonder, I know some of these guys, they don't even have, an FFL, these Cerakote guys. Because there's guys, I see advertising locally to do Cerakote and stuff, right? And just, I know for a fact, these guys don't have, an FFL. I'm just so, okay, just because I'm not sending my gun to you in the mail, let's say I just bring my gun to directly to you because you're local and I drop it off. Is that legal? Because that's the question I would have for that guy, but I don't know if he would know that because he's not a Cerakoter or whatever. I've always been curious about that. Just because I'm not sending it in the mail or whatnot, if I take it directly to them or to a holster maker to get a Kydex holster made or something like that, and if I take it directly to them, is that still legal if they don't have an FFL? Because I know there's a lot of guys out there who don't have FFLs who are doing that stuff. So
yeah, I'll be honest with you, that's a gray area.
Because I know if I want to give my gun to let's say my buddy, and I'm oh, you're gonna go up so and so place, you're here, take my gun, or oh, your gun's in the shop, well, here, take my gun for home defense, or I know I can legally do that. I could give my gun to a friend, but since they're doing it as a business, I don't know. So that's what I want. That's what I want to ask that FFL guy.
He may know the answer. He might not. That might be an answer for the ATF.
Okay, no, there's okay, rule number one: never ask the ATF for an opinion on anything.
That's my point.
Go to a lawyer for ask a lawyer or something. But no, you never ask the ATF.
You know who a good lawyer to talk to is? Talk to Sean's lawyer Friday. Sean of Florida Carry. Uh-huh. Ask him. He will have an answer for you. Now, we had him on a few weeks ago for Florida Carry and what's going on in Florida. So, yeah, Sean was there, and Sean was like, you know what? Can I bring my lawyer? And I go, well, as long as he doesn't speak legalese to us.
A good lawyer can speak legalese in layman's terms, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, and that's what he did. So it wasn't too bad.
What are people shitting their bricks over right now? Oh, Betsy DeVos has been confirmed. The vote was 12-11, straight down party lines. Big surprise.
What about Jeff? What's his name? Sessions.
That's happening now.
That's happening now. All right.
But the
But hey,
debacle is hilarious because liberals are fucking going crazy, going, our kids are screwed. As if, Common Core and fucking Michelle Obama's fucked up school lunch program didn't fuck up their kids enough already.
no kidding. It's like, our kids are screwed. You never cared about them in the first place.
Kids are screwed because you people failed as parents, not because of the person in charge of fucking education boards.
Damn straight.
You let that shit happen. You didn't vote them out in the first place, or you didn't go to the meetings and say you don't want that shit to be enacted. Now you got somebody who's actually going to turn around and do something and you're going to cry about it? Fuck you.
Yep.
So in a surprising turn of events, the Quebec shooter was actually a French guy. They arrested a French guy and an immigrant. And everyone thought the immigrant was the actual suspect, but the French guy was.
Oui, oui.
His name
So,
was like de Bissonnette or something like that.
so French bread, s'il vous plaît.
Well, he's French Canadian. He's not actually French.
Oh, right. He's not actual French, so it's more like
Like French light.
He was one of those French Canadian nationals. What do they call them? Quebecois.
French ice.
So, here's what sucks today. I go out to start my car to get it running, and it won't start.
What car?
It's a 2006 Toyota Highlander. Okay. I go to start the 1998. It's not a Crown Victoria. It's the Mercury, Grand Marquis.
Okay.
Go to start the 1998 Grand Marquis. It won't start either.
The cold.
You know what
batteries?
Both of my batteries died. I go to start my tractor to try and bring it around to jump both of those cars. Guess what happens? It won't fucking start either because of the battery.
That sucks.
All three batteries in all three vehicles, technically. Well, tractor's a vehicle, yeah. They died. My fucking luck, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
3 dead batteries. I got a funny story for you. 8 years ago, almost to the day, I had a BMW 540, and I drove it through this car wash, which was almost new at the time. They just built it recently. I went through the car wash. I drove all the way home, got out of the car, walked around the back of it, and noticed one of the taillight lenses were missing. So I had to drive all the way back to the car wash, and I found it sitting at the very end of the automated car wash line where the dryer is. And it was up against the wall. So I picked it up, went home, re-glued it. Life was good. Yesterday, I drove my 330 through the exact same car wash, and I got out of the car, and I walked around the back, and the exact same fucking thing happened. The taillight on the right side was missing. I went all the way back, and it was sitting right where the air dryer was. I had to glue that shit back on last night. Put it on the car this morning on the way to work.
All right, I'm back.
Trying to drag that.
Well, luckily I bought all those batteries within 3 years, and I got them all at Walmart. So I'm waiting on AAA to come over just so I can get those batteries. One of the cars jumped, so I can take the other two batteries to Walmart and have them replace them. That's the one good thing about Walmart, where if you buy a battery from them, the base battery is like 3 years warranty on it. So if it dies within 3 years, you take it back and they give you a new one.
I'm not really sure what my boss is asking.
Which is odd because my tractor normally starts over no matter what. But I guess today it didn't want to.
Is it a 12 volt?
Think so. It's an old Ford, so.
Well, I mean, I'm going
Well,
off
and-
memory here, but I mean,
And when I say old Ford, I mean like 86.
okay, it's probably a 12 volt. I got these Black & Decker battery maintainers on Amazon. They were like, I think $10, and because I have multiple cars, I don't drive them, all at the same time, obviously. So what I do is I screw it onto the firewall, this little box, run a plug to it, and it's got these 2 alligator clips, and you just clip them on the battery. It keeps the batteries topped up while you're not using the vehicles or whatever. But one of the added benefits is if you have a car sitting a lot, it keeps the batteries from dying off too early or prematurely too.
Yeah, my family used to have those battery rechargers, but we stopped when the one my grandfather was using decided to burn a hole through his old Lincoln car and then burn the carport. Didn't burn the carport down, but it got lit on fire. So, from that point on, battery chargers were a no in this household.
Yeah, it's a pretty shitty deal. I mean, these new ones, their circuit broke, so it's not like I used to have one of those old ones that you had on a cart. It was all metal, and it would buzz and hum when you had it on. It kind of scared little kids off or whatever. Those things are prone to catching fire. But I mean, these new ones, they're tiny. It's like if there's an overload, it blows a fuse inside that recharger, so the buck stops right there.
This was a Craftsman.
Craftsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no more battery chargers in this house. Just on principle. Though what I think I am going to do is I'm going to get one of those battery jump boxes. You seen those things?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I don't have one of those, so I figured it might be a good idea to go and get one of those.
It's not a bad idea. They're not very expensive.
No, they
make a
sell them at
combo one
Walmart
now,
too.
with an air pump.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Those are pretty nice.
So I'll just get one while I'm at Walmart. Right now I have to wait for AAA to come over and jump me.
They don't charge, right?
AAA?
Yeah.
They don't charge you to come out as long as you have their service.
Okay. Not too bad.
Because it's like, I think it's like $100 for an entire year.
Mhm.
And then they'll come out and jump you or tow you if you need it. Which is pretty good. I mean, we've always had AAA, so it doesn't matter.
I can't wait for DeVos to announce that she's abolishing Common Core math nationwide.
Yeah. I hope they put Jeff Sessions in.
Oh, he's a shoo-in, man. That guy's a lock. And if not, honestly, there's 2 people standing in line that's going to get that job if he doesn't get it. It's going to be either Ted Cruz or Trey Gowdy.
Oh man, I
Cruz
think
was on a list of 21 people for the Supreme Court listing, but he didn't make the last cut because I think Trump has a different plan for him anyway. So
here's the thing.
Hmm.
I would much rather see Trey Gowdy than Cruz, and I know you're a Cruz fan, and it's not just because Trey Gowdy is from South Carolina. It's just, have you seen him go? Have you seen those hearings of which he's been the head of?
Gowdy is a fucking boss. That's all I'll say, dude.
Gowdy would make a perfect attorney general, whereas Cruz would make a great Supreme Court justice, because one's a constitutionalist and one's a fucking pit bull.
Actually, the thing is, Gowdy's, believe it or not, Gowdy's also a constitutionalist.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, Cruz is he's a better choice for a Supreme Court justice, just as Gowdy's a better choice for Attorney General. They're both good at their jobs.
And we lost to Sean. Was that the one that was live, or?
I don't think so.
Awkward. I always get these callers on wireless. Anyway, what I was saying is they're both good at their job, but one of them makes a more obvious choice for each position than the other.
I don't know. I think Gowdy would be better for the Supreme Court.
No,
Just because no one argues with the judge when they belittle someone. And Gowdy loves to belittle people.
Well, what he likes to do is he likes to paint someone into a corner with facts, and then it makes them look like idiots. That's what he's good at.
Yeah, he'd be great for Supreme Court justice.
He needs to write a book called The Art of Arguing with Idiots.
I hate to say it, but he is from South Carolina, and there are a lot of idiots down here. So he's probably had a lot of practice.
Well, I think Sessions will make it, so it's probably not a big deal. It's all elementary at this point.
Yeah, the NAACP is trying to get Lindsey Graham to say no to Jeff Sessions today. Because they say he should
just take off his red tie and put his fucking blue one on.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham. Lately, he's not been acting like a Republican.
He's not. I mean, essentially.
I know.
Flaming rhino. Damn it. Oh, good to hear.
Wait there, Joshua.
Huh?
I'm doing.
So, Dead Horse?
Yo.
I'm going to take your advice and celebrate the Chinese New Year by going to a buffet once my car is fixed.
Yep, that's the best way to celebrate it for us Americans.
Right,
and
right.
A lot of times during this week, up until I think like February 3rd, it is that like a lot of Chinese buffets and Chinese restaurants will have like 10% off, stuff like that too. So
yeah, well, the Chinese food places around here, they usually, like during Christmas and sometimes during New Year, they'll give you like a calendar with their company on it. So, as a gift. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, I've seen those, and some of those calendars are pretty cool because they'll just be like nothing but pictures from China, of like the Great Wall or their forests or stuff like that.
The ones I usually get have hot Chinese chicks on them for some reason.
They're polluted rivers and
Right. But there's a hot Chinese chick on there, so it's okay. Well, there's a lot that can be done with Photoshop these days. G-Webs can tell you.
Yeah, I know of a very specific birth certificate that was photoshopped, but nobody seems to be talking about it these days.
Dude, I guess it's fake, but I was like someone posted it on Instagram, like one of the bigger kind of like pro-America pages on Instagram, like posted this thing of this Obama speech. And Obama's like walking around, and it must be like some kind of voice actor or where they took specific words Obama said and like redid them. But it sounded legit. Like it did. Like they did a really good job. And Obama's like, yep, I have to admit, like, I'm not an American. I wasn't born in the United States. I wasn't born in Hawaii. I was born in Kenya. Like, I was like, wait, what? I was like, when did he say this? Oh, dude, but it sounded good. It wasn't like it was all the same level and tone. Like it sounded good, dude. Like it sounded legit.
Oh, it's almost time for lunch channels. I have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna eat. My governor is delivering the annual State of the State address. Cool. Basically, it's gonna be our state's fine. This bitch is fucking fired tomorrow. sheriff of Travis County, you're fired. Everyone wins. Oh, good. My boss is done. Well, I guess I better go get lunch before they take off. I'll be back in a few minutes, but I'll leave it running, of course.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Don't drop your food this time. All right, I gotta go. I will see you guys later.
Do-do-do. So lunch channels is officially over. Didn't spill it, even though Night Strike was ever so kind to remind me not to. And then I got to watch Press Secretary Sean Spicer destroy the media, as usual, basically telling them to shut the fuck up and get your facts straight. That was fun.
Good morning, gun channels.
Got your own episode of Hawaii 5-0 going this morning, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how somebody flipped their car on a leaky drive. It's a little 15-mile-an-hour strip right along the ocean bayfront. It's like the only way to flip your car is to like get out and push it over. So,
You're assuming they did the speed limit?
well, there's traffic on there. It's hard. It's just there's like three-way stop sign. You know, there's traffic and pedestrians all the fuck over the place. I mean, you know, if we cross anywhere, it's just impossible to speed, even if you were trying to.
Well, someone found a way. They didn't want to run over a turtle and they jerked the wheel or something.
I don't think the turtles climb over the seawall.
Where there's a will, there's a way, damn it.
I don't think they can. They don't have the. I mean, the seawall goes straight up a little bit, and I don't think turtles can climb straight up. If a turtle decides to go on land, it'll just go a little ways onto the sand and then just sit in the sun for a while.
I'll just chill right here.
It looks like the Daily Gun Show has like a 50-minute countdown before it starts still. I don't know.
50?
Yeah, 5-0.
Yeah, it starts at, was it noon Pacific? Yeah.
That's what it said when I looked at it. I was like, oh, I thought somebody typed live in the lobby chat. So I went over there. Not yet. Well, I think we killed aircraft carriers on the last mock and load last night.
Oh?
Yeah.
So we're not going to build anymore.
Now
After the Enterprise.
Well, they've got the Ford, the Kennedy, and I think the Enterprise is going to be sooner rather than, I don't know if it's before or after those that I mentioned, but it's the Gerald Ford class carriers.
Yeah, it's the ninth Enterprise, and it's the 4th or 5th Gerald Ford class carrier.
Well, it depends how much Trump wants to spend on the Navy, I guess. They got a lot of subs to build.
We got that new stealth destroyer thing that's bigger than heavy cruisers of last generation. So I mean, the lines are definitely blurred. They're freaking huge. This thing's like 630 feet long.
Well, thought the Navy's, you know, cool toy is the coastal literal, you know, literal ships.
Yeah.
They're like highly advanced catamarans, you know.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh wait, no, this is the one that's got the helipad in the back, isn't it?
Yeah, and the police scanner is really busy today in Kona. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking of was the Zumwalt class destroyer. Those things are weird as shit looking, but they're bigger than heavy cruisers of yesteryear, and they're considered destroyers.
Well, I didn't research any of that. We just did carriers and naval task forces and shit last night. Walk and load and boat anchors in general. I saw that. It was funny because started off the show with that they should take that lawyer Yates from the Justice Department and tie her to a boat anchor and drop her in the center of the
And
Pacific
then she
Ocean.
got fired.
And then she got fired. You know, I mean, I guess Trump fires people. He doesn't tie them to boat anchors and throw them overboard. You know,
Yeah, there's too many eyes on him now.
well,
I don't know. It's just, people are flipping their shit that she got fired. First of all, she was a temporary until, Sessions gets confirmed. So it's not like her job was permanent anyway. And second of all, if you try to tell your boss you're not going to follow their orders, then you're not going to have a job for very long either.
well, it's just like she's gonna get like a talk show host job on like MSNBC or something. And she was about to be fired, so she had her 15 minutes of fame. She'll be a liberal folk hero. If that's worth anything.
Until
That's
the next
something.
one comes along.
Maybe it's something she can cash in on, make it into a new career.
Maybe her and Pocahontas and Michelle Obama and let's see, who was the other one?
Madonna.
The woman that thought she was black, but she's actually white. She's got curly hair.
I don't remember her name, but she's already had her 15 minutes.
Well, see, I think what they should do is they should get those four together and they can make like a girl band or something. That nobody will go see.
Kind of like the American version of Pussy Riot.
Yeah, there you go.
They need to go into a church and do obscene things
And they'll headline
to a
Lilith Fair.
drumbeat. Got to do some exercise yesterday while I was barbecuing a steak. Brought out my Cali Eskrima sticks and was doing broken 8 drills while I was cooking. So I didn't have anything else to do, so worked up a sweat.
My old man had to take a second physical because the EKG machine wasn't working the first time they did it. So he went back and he had to sit on that damn treadmill. 81 years old.
Well, you don't sit on the treadmill, you walk.
Well, you know what I mean. He had to
Yeah,
work
I know the
treadmill for
drill.
a second time. He was like, "This is bullshit."
Well, I mean, it's good for you. What's he complaining about?
The fact that he had to do it twice.
Well, sometimes shit breaks.
What's funny is they went through the whole thing the first time. He left, and then they called him back saying, "We're going to need you to come back in next week. The machine wasn't working." It's like, how come you didn't notice it as he was doing it?
Maybe so. It just didn't record what he was doing, is what it was.
Yeah. That's exactly what they told him. It was like it wasn't recording.
So they forget. So somebody probably just forgot to push the record button. But if they blame it on themselves, then they'll just blame it on the machine. The machine, screwed up. So you have to come back. It's like, we forgot to push the record button, so we have to make you do. It's good for him to do. I mean, sitting on the treadmill and walking is good for you. So
It's not what he's used to. He uses my weight bench. So he doesn't actually do like cardio type things. He just does like muscle toning type things.
Well,
But
if you got,
easy enough.
well, treadmills work.
Yeah, I give him his exercise by taking him to every gun show that comes in town. So, that's like 3 hours of walking because he always knows I treat him to a beer after. So
Every time you start talking, the police scanner starts blaring something. Listening to it on broadcast. Yeah, well, I mean, the treadmill, though, you can put up like on an angle, so it's like walking uphill. Your heart work harder.
Yeah, they do that. The one that he has to do, it starts out flat and then it goes up to like a 20-degree incline by the end.
20 degrees a little steep, but yeah, you when you're just walking around flat, it's like it makes it easy. If you're used to walking uphill on a treadmill, then just walking around on flat ground it seems like almost easy. You know?
Yeah, it's also assisted walking almost with the track going underneath you. Uh-oh. Yeah, watching Sean Spicer not take any shit from the media is actually quite refreshing. He was like calling him out. He was like, wait a minute, you're trying to ask me this question and you were the one who spread this misinformation in the first place? He's like, tell me again why I should answer your question. I'm like, good God. Isn't it your organization that started this whole mess in the first place? I was like, oh.
I don't need to watch the whole press conference anymore. I'll just wait for the highlights on Fox of him giving them shit.
Oh, Hannity's going to have it on in like 20 minutes. It'll be like, wait till you hear the latest.
Yeah.
I'm seriously surprised he didn't get the job.
Who?
Hannity. He should have
I'm
been.
not. Well, no, he got an interview with Donald Trump in the White House when nobody else could.
That's true.
Like who's gonna score the White House interview? The President of the United States. I mean, Sean Hannity, of course. I mean, I remember when was it the second debate where Trump was on the defensive and he started going
like, ask Hannity.
Where's Sean? And I was like, 911, somebody quick, call 911 Hannity.
Right. That man is in bed already, waiting, prepping his show for the next day already. I really thought there was going to be a witch hunt to shut down media sources that were spreading false information after the election was over, but there's too many of them that do it and not enough legit news sources that are behind or that stayed behind, that kept it real, that you can't shut that all down. It's just there's too many of them. And every time you try to discredit them, then you turn around and they're like, oh, you're just being a bigot because your guy won. Okay, dude. You say so.
So I had a weapons quiz on my show. Did you listen to it at all?
I had a really, really early night last night. I didn't do mats, and I got home and I pretty much broke down that my folks need to take their dog in for cataract surgery before it's irreversible. Then I had to make dinner, and then after that, I fell asleep. That was the end of my day.
Well, let's see if you can get it now. So don't read the text chat because they probably know out there. What weapon did the Pope ban?
Which Pope?
Don't ask for that. I'm not giving that hint. I'm asking a Pope. What weapon was banned by the Pope?
Nuclear weapons.
Nope. Guess again.
Crossbows.
Right. They thought it was unfair that anybody could pick up a weapon and shoot it without any training or skill. So that's not fair. You're not allowed to use it. I'm banning
a strong individual to use it though, because the first ones where you had to stand on it,
Yeah.
Like
Caulking aids came later. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the cranks. Even the crank method was pretty hard to use.
It's funny that's the only weapon that the Pope ever banned. Of course, in Star Wars Rebel 1, I mean, they used a laser crossbow to shoot down a TIE fighter, which I thought was impossible. I mean, can you imagine shooting down a plane with a crossbow? I don't care if it's a laser. It's just only in Hollywood movie could that happen.
Bond can shoot down helicopters with a PPK.
Yeah, but not a crossbow.
Yeah. But it's a 380. Ralphus, but I keep saying that, but it's not Ralphus. No, Night Strike actually found 380 Ralphus rounds. I forgot.
What is a 380 Ralphus round?
Well, you know what a 50 Ralphus is. It's armor-piercing incendiary explosive, so...
Well, we aren't allowed those toys in Hawaii, so how would I know?
Oh. So,
I mean, it's the shipping out here that would be the problem. You can't ship it out here.
well, that's the thing. I gave him a...
Because of the TSA rules after 9/11.
I gave Dano a quiz question a while back. I don't know if he used it yet,
so I don't want to just like say the answer out loud, but supposedly Ralphus rounds are legal because they carry a set limit of explosive that's acceptable to the ATF.
Well, the problem is getting them shipped to Hawaii. You know.
Yeah.
You can't do it on a plane. So.
Got to boat that shit.
Yeah, even then. It's not the type of thing that a gun shop would really buy to sell to their clients because, you know.
It's a specialty round.
Yeah, it's a specialty round. So they just buy the normal shit. You know,
what is the average boat travel time between, say, Los Angeles and Hawaii?
I don't know, but it's stupid because there aren't like hardly any boats that can legally ship anything because the only boats that can legally ship anything from the mainland to Hawaii have to be built and constructed in America and manned by American Union crews.
What?
Yeah, the Jones Act.
I mean, container ships can't come to Hawaii.
Not from the mainland, not from the United States.
So the only cargo vessels that go to Hawaii are built and manned only from the mainland.
Only from the United States. Yeah, that's correct. It's the 1929's Jones Act.
Wow. Isn't that sort of, I guess, outdated to modern standards?
Oh, yeah. That's one reason Puerto Rico went under. And it's going to be another reason that Hawaii goes under, in addition to the fact that, you know, if Honolulu and Hawaii turn into like a sanctuary city and the federal government cuts off funds to Hawaii, the treasury will collapse overnight. You know, so and we have, this is all a blue state, so they're gonna go sanctuary city and shit. So it's like they're gonna cut off the funds, and then, you know, the 70% unfunded, you know, police, firefighter, government employee pension fund will collapse instantaneously, and all the police will just quit, you know, because they're going to go want to find, like, same thing happened in Dallas. They're going to want to work somewhere where the retirement fund is solvent,
intact.
Yeah, solvent.
Yeah, that's something they should really bring up. Like, hey, this is no longer relevant to modern markets. We should get rid of this.
What?
That shipping law or whatever.
Oh, I know. Good luck, but it's gonna be, it'll be, if somebody tries to repeal it, you know, or replace it, it'll be filibustered by the Democrats because it's a pro, you know, and the Republicans won't be so thrilled to do it either because it's a pro build things in America rule.
Oh shit!
You know?
Why did she put those in there?
I don't know. Only one.
You motherfucker! You never told me.
I don't even know.
You knew that one was in there.
No, I just saw it.
Shit, this is sorry. We're fighting over Ferrero Rochers. I have another one.
That's okay. I'm trying to listen to you in between the tone of police scanner.
Yeah, it was empty.
Man, it's like my favorite thing on earth in chocolate form.
Daily gun show is in 30 minutes and 28 seconds.
Indeed.
In case somebody wants to count down.
That has got to be the greatest candy of mankind's existence.
What?
Ferrero Rochers.
I don't know what those are.
There's a solid hazelnut in the middle. There's Nutella around that. Then there's like a little wafer ball, and then they coat it in chocolate and roll it in shredded hazelnuts.
I really don't like hazelnuts, but there's a fight out in the back of some hotel. The police scanning. Oh, God.
That's pretty good. Single piece. Yeah, I keep a candy dish up at the top of my desk for like the delivery people when they come by. I let them have one or whatever. My boss's wife, she fills it all the time, but it's usually stuff I don't like. And apparently she stuck in a bunch of those Ferrero Rochers, and they were like mixed in with a bunch of stuff I don't like. So I never check the bowl because usually it's nothing I ever want. And my warehouse guy comes up here like 4 times a day taking stuff out of his bowl, and all of a sudden I look and I see this gold ball in his hand. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Snack channels. I indulged. I'm on a diet right now, but I saw the one and I had to have it. I'm not even overweight, really. It's just I put on a little bit extra because it's a beer fridge, I guess. It's starting to develop, and I want to get rid of it before it becomes ridiculously out of control.
Somebody stole something out of a store and is lurking in the parking lot.
How many people are on that island?
Residents, or not counting tourists, about 200,000 people.
Okay, so I mean it can be relatively busy there then for the police.
Well, can be.
I mean, you got to remember, I vacation on an island where there's more bears than there are people, so it's usually very quiet up there.
Well, it's probably quiet up on the volcano somewhere, but
yeah, my island got sold. Somebody coughed up 850 grand before I could convince my family to go and buy into it with me.
well, Mel Gibson's island is still available. I posted it a few days ago, but
Where is it?
You know, I don't know where it is, but I posted the picture of it, and it looks cool. It's only $800 million. So if you go look through the Gun Channel's feed, it's there. I don't know if I could find it. I might.
$800 million island. This was a $850,000, 160 square foot island, or 160 acre island rather. There we go.
Trying to find in my download folder where the picture of the island is. I uploaded it like yesterday or the day before on Gun Channel's feed. So if you scroll down through it, you can see it. Oh, here it is. Mel Gibson's island.
Fiji.
Is that where it is?
Mm-hmm. He originally paid $15 million for it in 2005.
Oh, I guess he wants to make a profit then.
Yeah. Mago Island.
You Googled it or something?
Yeah. It's pretty. Like the house that's on it's nice.
Yeah, it's got a pool in there, and it's like it's got a artificial reef.
Mm-hmm.
You could just make it into a gigantic, circular lap pool or something. Probably take half an hour to do one lap. Probably take an hour for me to do one lap, but
I wouldn't pay no fucking 800 million. I mean, you can get one of those Palm Islands off the coast of the UAE for I think $2.5 million. They'll make you an island. And you have to be selected to live there. Basically, you just have to buy your way in.
well, I could get used to that island if I was saying I have people on gun channels have enough credit card limit, we could all chip in.
This has to be Ronda Rousey. Yep, knew it. Speculators are starting to say that she is done as a UFC fighter and she's going to call it a career. And that's perfectly fine. She's better suited to training the next generation of fighters anyway. They already figured her out. Ronda Rousey.
Who's that?
The UFC women's featherweight fighter, the one that got knocked out twice.
I don't know. I don't follow that stuff, so.
I'm more of a boxing fan than I am UFC, but it's like I just happen to know her because I've seen her in movies and I've actually had the pleasure of meeting her one time. She's quite polite. But yeah, she's probably done. Fighters know how to beat her, so she's not very good at defending herself.
Wow.
My town is being held hostage for the entire damn week.
To what?
Super Bowl 51.
Oh, well.
It's like, just do not go downtown until Monday if you can avoid it. All the restaurants are full of people you're not going to know. All the venues are full of people you're not going to know. All the
Dallas?
parking,
Is that
in Houston?
In Houston.
All the parking prices have been doubled or tripled, which is asinine. And watching it on TV gives you the best seat in the house anyway.
There's some kind of police activity, on the corner block of where I live, but I can't tell what the hell they're talking about.
Suddenly you hear a knock at your door.
We know you've been saying nice things about Trump, so you're under arrest.
Right.
We only allow people who hate the president to talk.
You truly are under the siege of the boys in blue. Oh, someone's bothering my shop. Be right back.
Shocking news. Hawaii Republicans joined with Democrats in 2015 to enact Obama's amnesty agenda in Hawaii. Driver's licenses for illegal aliens, an estimated 40,000 in Hawaii. The Democratic-controlled state government has declared Hawaii to be a sanctuary state by mandating man, the fucking police scanner is going crazy. Hawaii's Democratic-controlled state government declared Hawaii to be a sanctuary state by mandating that all 4 of our county DMVs issue driver's licenses to an estimated 40,000 illegal aliens in Hawaii. The worst part of the story is that
just not getting signal, or did the light go real dim, or anything like that?
I'll read this story if you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
If I can fix that.
Mm-hmm.
The worst. The worst part of the story is that according to official records at the state capitol, all 7 of Hawaii's elected Republicans in the state House, there's none in the state Senate, unanimously joined with Democrats in pushing Obama's harmful amnesty agenda. Here in the islands, who's the leader? Beth Fujimoto, of course. Not only does this terrible new law reward and incentivize lawbreaking and provide sanctuary to illegals, takes jobs and available rental homes away from lawful Hawaii residents, creates traffic congestion, 40,000 more cars on Oahu's highways, and puts Hawaii's government employees and our law enforcement officers in a position of actually helping those in the country illegally to continue breaking the law rather than helping deport the people who don't seem to mind breaking our laws. We're not talking about 20 or 200 or 2,000 illegal aliens, but 40,000 who should not be in the USA. The new law was actually being debated 2 years ago during the 2015 legislative session. But just like our sellout phony Republicans in the Hawaii state legislature,
They actually wrote that?
Who wrote that? Who are you talking?
They actually wrote, thanks to our phony Republican?
Yeah, we have phony Republicans in the state legislature. They're all rhino. They're not just rhinos. They're Democrats who are claiming to be Republicans, and they're in charge of the party.
I just think it's hilarious that they wrote that in the article, phony Republicans. Like, they called their ass out deliberately.
Well, they are phony Republicans. They're not really Republicans. I mean, they're the people in charge of the party. That's how it's so screwed up in Hawaii. You have no idea. I mean, they literally were at the anti-Trump, George Soros, rallies and nationwide women's walks, thing last weekend.
There were a lot of men at these women's walks.
Well, there were, and Beth Fujimoto was like the keynote speaker, and she's like, it's just they're trying to get like the Phoenix Project going up to like trying to get everybody thrown out of the Republican Party that's in the leadership here because it's that bad. Really, the Hawaii Republican Party needs to be decertified, but there's just no way to do it. We need to start over. It's the only way.
Speaking of decertifying, I'm shocked, actually, after this whole election and after all these allegations of party corruption and primary fixing on the Democratic ticket and all that. How the hell can the Supreme Court not dissolve the Democratic Party as a corrupt institution to force the system to create a new party?
This
I
is the
don't know,
perfect
but
opportunity to do it.
we need to decertify the Hawaii Republican Party because it's all run by Democrats. There's no Republicans left in it.
Well, I mean, how come you can't decertify it just by defeating whoever's there? Run a strong candidate.
Because this is Hawaii. People vote Democrat and they don't care about the Republicans. And the few Republicans there are, they'll just check the R on the ballot, assuming that they're actually Republicans, because it says they are on the ballot, but they're not.
Is it mainly just because the people out there just feel that they're so far away from the mainland's issues that they don't really, I guess, care?
Well, I mean, yeah, I definitely can feel that. I mean, but it's usually not the politics of it. It's just, whatever problems you have on the mainland, it's like mainland people with mainland problems.
Right.
But I don't think that's what it is. It's just that the Democratic Party has, a very strong machine. They're well financed and entrenched. They're super entrenched. They're like dug in.
I think they're just feeding the beast, so to speak. It's like they know that they're in a market where the people don't care because, like you said, mainland people, mainland problems. It's like that has nothing to do with us out here.
Well, I know, but if they declare this, if this whole Hawaii is a sanctuary state, then and they stop getting federal funds, then the state will go broke.
Yeah,
I mean, the state is already broke, but it'll shut down.
See, that's what my governor's doing. He's basically telling mayors and police chiefs of cities in Texas, they were like, you will abide by these new sanctuary city laws tomorrow, February 1st, or you will be removed from office, or you will be defunded. He's going to defund the cities, and he's going to relieve the sheriffs of elected, offices in large counties, namely his.
What state are you in?
Texas.
Well, in Hawaii, the entire Texas is a donor state, but in Hawaii, it's on the dole, and if the federal funds stop coming in, then the whole state will be defunded. I mean, literally, it'll just be anarchy, which will be an improvement. I would prefer anarchy at this point to what we have.
Couldn't be worse.
I don't see how it could be worse. I mean,
I should be finished with the day's orders just in time for the Daily Gun Show.
I'll have a look over there at the Daily Gun Show. It says 10 minutes and 5 seconds until the Daily Gun Show. It's probably gonna get time where I should go hit the pool or the hot tub or something.
Be surrounded by all that bait.
No, there was actually a legal age girl there yesterday, so trying to get her bass guitar to work.
That's not bad.
I think she has a boyfriend. Unfortunately.
I'm looking at that shit like a challenge. I always stop chasing them once they tell me I'm engaged. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I can respect that.
You guys stop messing with married women.
It's pretty expensive.
I'm looking at the C-SPAN feed on YouTube. There's a video called "Real America I'm liking it's called "Real America Communist Propaganda 1958 USIA Film." they spelled film wrong. I know they didn't. It's just cut off by the YouTube thing. But the shit, what's it called?
So
The
you didn't
thumbnail
catch most of
picture. The thumbnail picture says "Yankee go home."
You didn't catch most of that press conference, but one of the questions that were asked were actually pretty shocking. This woman was like, the 8-year-old daughter of Anwar al-Mawlawaki, whatever, Milwaukee Brewery, whatever the fuck his name is, was killed in yesterday's strikes. And, you know, President Trump, when he was running for office, said that he was going to go after the families of terrorists. He was like, does he still support that notion? And if there was a terrorist in North America, would he actually kill the families of North American terrorists that are
Are they
Americans?
talking about the strike in Yemen?
I guess.
Hey man, if kids just wander into in the crossfire between, you know, Al Qaeda and the SEAL Team 6, I mean, it's tragic, but I mean, shit.
It's collateral damage, is what it is.
You don't need to. It's not like let's go kill all the children. I mean, it's like, you know,
They did have that whole let's go after their families and put them in fear for a change instead of letting our families get killed, you know, in senseless attacks. And, you know, part of me goes, yeah, you know, eye for an eye, right? But the way this woman questioned him.
You know, that's what Israel used to do in, you know, against like Syria and stuff when they would say, you know, that when the Syrian army or the, you know, would go, or the Hezbollah would go, let's go into Israel and sneak into Israel and kill as many Jews as possible. So then the Israeli army used to go, okay, let's go into Syria and kill as many Syrians as possible. You know, and they do raids, cross-border raids, and then a few raids back, and they stopped. You know, it stopped after a few of those back and forth border raids. It just stopped.
It's too personal.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're going to be on in 5 minutes, and I got to shut this down because my boss just got back, and he doesn't like me broadcasting.
That's what goes with broadcasting from work, I guess.
Right. Anyway, guys, tune in for the Daily Gun Show. I'm going to put the link in the lobby, and we'll see you there in about 5 minutes. Thanks for watching.
Where you will win the contest for whatever question they ask, I'm sure.